are my friends. Come along with me, see how the story ends.
And we're live. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Professional Hippies podcast. Of course, you have your other host, Colt Mewborn, and you have your other host, Dylan Whiddon, and we also have other host's brother back.
Hi.
Doofus Face.
Me. Mr. Doctor.
Take it all the way back to childhood.
Mr. Doofus Face. My apologies. Tyler Whiddon, folks. Welcome back, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Happy to be back on here.
Yeah. Yeah. Is your mic picking up? Is it the computer picking up your mic, or is it your actual mic?
Definitely have apparatus on my head right now that's probably picking up the microphone.
Yeah. Good thing you're a mechanic. Oh, now you've gone dark.
Yep. See? That's how you know. It's right here.
It's like I'm getting a little window into your childhood here.
Oh yeah. Well, I know we kind of share with you. So Tyler and I went to Ultra last weekend and had a good little time that we had there. All because Tyler decided to get it launched and started for us to go, and I was like, "Are you sure you want to do that one? Like that? We could do a camping one." You know, we could do Bonnaroo maybe. Like, if you're going to choose one, that's the one we're launching into, huh? All right. Well, here we go.
My first successful Kickstarter campaign, and it was successful. So I have the confidence to move on to the next one.
What I loved about this leading up to it, so Tyler had a dry run by himself with EDC, and then leading into Ultra, a little soft pitch leading up to it. You know, just call me out of the blue. And I was like, hey, you know, what's up? We're catching up. And I could feel the soft sell. Kind of like, by the way, you know, what do you got going on in late May, April? What you doing?
What you doing?
Not that.
Not that one. I'll tell you, you could have pitched probably any other festival. Actually, you probably could have pitched Miami Music Week.
Oh, yeah.
Still been way more support on that than you would have Ultra.
Halloween is just around the corner, guys.
Just around the river bend.
Dude, I
Plenty
am
of time to prepare.
Literally dragging your ass to EDC Vegas in a month. You're flying here in like a month, and we're going to EDC, and you're already focused on you just totally taking your eye off the ball right now, dude. We need you back in the game.
Well,
okay.
We can talk about it more in Vegas. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
He'll have his presentation ready to go.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and tell you. I mean,
a whiteboard pulled out.
The key to leapfrogging from one event to the next is catch everyone on the front end. Deposits are key to lock in that enthusiasm. You do not want to be approaching on the back end, nor the month after the back end of a music festival.
The good news is he has the lineup behind him now.
Oh, dude. Oh.
For Halloween?
Yeah. That lineup's pretty sick. That's a great
How do you guys feel about that lineup?
That lineup's pretty great. I mean, it's so good. My client that from work that was like, yeah, I'm thinking about going if they have enough of good bands, bought his ticket immediately when he saw that.
I think I saw a sneak. Nice. Oh, yeah, that's right, because they released the lineup for Halloween on April Fool's Day, of all days.
What a great idea.
Great confidence booster, to be honest.
Yeah, that'd be a really good one. Anyway, so before we get too sidetracked here, because I do have some burning questions when it comes to Ultra. First off, just in general, blanketed, how are we feeling? You're a couple days removed at this point, right?
Just a couple.
A lot better than the first couple days removed.
I'm feeling all right. It definitely took a lot out of you, for sure. Like going, jumping around Miami, and then you go, of course, the after parties. You get a few hours of sleep, jump to the next thing, back into it. Tell you, the rainy day was nice, getting a little more rest in for the all-nighter.
Yeah, so How far do you guys stay from the actual venue itself?
Was it like 25-minute walk?
Yeah, it was like maybe a mile. If it was
Okay.
a mile, like just over.
Yeah,
Like
it wasn't too bad.
Oh yeah, just enough time to when you just start to get you just start to be like, man, it's a long walk. Oh, there it is. Wow, that's,
Yeah.
that's nice.
The only thing that was that because we got VIP for this, right? And so if anyone's ever not been to Ultra, basically GA is on the right side. Like here's the whole festival, water's behind it. GA is pretty much half the size of the festival to get in. And for VIP, you have to walk all the way to the other side of the festival.
Really?
It's the back corner.
Straight up
Yeah.
back of house.
And there's only one entrance for the VIP in and out for it. Yeah, it was interesting. They just are like, yep, just one security checkpoint in and out for VIP.
They have a VIP exit as well. Is that what you're saying?
No. Well, I mean, you can exit through there if you want to, but there's not
Sure.
like it's better if you just go through the GA exit for sure.
Yeah.
So was it? I mean, the first question off the top of my head, was it as packed as it looks?
Oof.
Oh yeah.
Main stage, man, was
Oh
stage
yeah.
was a journey. Everything else wasn't too bad, but main stage, just that pretty much any time of the day was.
Well, you never really got to see the mega structure. We never officially tried to go into the mega structure. You got to see it a little bit when we were on the upper deck of the VIP.
Yeah.
Because the VIP at the mega structure is that big airplane hangar, basically, that they have. Awesome structure. But the VIP, at least, they had it over on the right, and they had an upper deck. You could go and get pretty close to the stage, and it just looked over the rest of the crowd. Good luck ever trying to get to the front of that bad boy, though, because that's a lot getting up there, unless you're part of the crowd switch that happens.
The old sardine can.
Sardine can, yeah.
Is that when it started raining? They had like the umbrellas over the DJ. Well, you guys didn't go into the mega structure, is what you're telling me.
We did the second day. We went into there and looked at it for a bit, and then Tyler was like, "I want to go check out something else," because I mean, the mega structure is just Carl Cox,
techno house stuff,
all the techno house, which is great. Yeah. You just, I think Tyler was in the need for some bass
for sure. Did you guys mainly hang out at the base stage, or what was kind of the main?
Yeah,
main stage, and the worldwide stage is what they call it. Which, by the way, like
one of the resistance stages.
And we'll get to it a little bit later, but like that bass definitely felt turned down at the festival.
Well,
Ultra, like, it definitely did not feel like they were given. I've definitely seen these artists at festivals, and the bass was way stronger.
Well, Dead Mouse kind of proved that. Kind of like towards the end of the set, he was just like kind of looked around and.
Yeah, that's right. He like turned it up. It was like,
oh.
That's right. I forgot he did that. He like looked around, and also that bass got like super heavy. That's right.
Well, it's funny we couldn't because we did. I forgot. So Ultra wasn't this past weekend; it was the weekend before that.
Sure.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So we did basically Caltra. The whole time we're thinking of you guys. Tyler, I hope you appreciate those pictures. I put a lot of thought into those pictures.
So did you watch Dead Mouse's set?
We didn't watch Dead Mouse. We started it and then we're like,
dude, it's so funny where we were standing. Right? One person next to us, the whole TV crew sat right next to us. But it was an arm that went out, and it was like, think of like a semicircle pattern of where that camera goes, and we were underneath the arm the whole time. So, and a couple times it would turn and be directly on us. And we're just like pointing at it. So if you watch that one, we're in that set multiple times if they ever switch to us while we're on it. But
that's so funny because when you guys sent me a picture, I think Tyler, when you responded to me, because the whole time. Mike and Sammy over here, and then there's Savvy and I watching it over multiple days. We're like looking for you guys in different sets and stuff. And it wasn't until did you guys see the Nightmare set? Were you there for?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think that's one of you guys, Tyler. I think you sent the picture to me. Before I got that picture, I was like, "Where do you think they are?" And I was like sitting there looking at the stage, and I was like, "Do you see the tree?" And I was like, "I guarantee." There's like an entrance or an exit right there, which I would imagine there's water kind of that direction. If I know Dylon, He's probably gonna look for a shade structure, probably closer to water, and be a little bit where it thins out. I'm gonna say right in there. And Tyler, you sent me that picture, and I was like, you fucking nailed it.
I swear we were.
Yeah, because we came in from the back because at those stages too, ultra, main stage, all those, it's the epitome of if you don't get there when the place first opens, people camp there all day.
Yeah.
Those because you're pretty much at like big room stage, dubstep stage, house stage. You know,
And that stage, where the crowd was, if you can imagine, I'm the stage. It kind of went up on one side, so one side had a hill where you could just kind of be above everybody. And
I like it when they do that. When you go to a venue where that has like a little bit of an elevation change, that way you don't have to feel like you're on top of somebody to get a better view or something. It's just like, just kind of like, give me a little bit of a hill.
I'm hanging out over here, guys.
They had that too. They have an amphitheater stage there that's like that too.
They did surprisingly well with that amphitheater. A lot of stuff I saw Friday night when Dylon was, sleeping.
Did not go. Friday night.
They did surprisingly well with that stage with the shows they put on.
So Dylon, so tell me about that. You decided you tapped out on Friday. You didn't go Friday at all.
We were up most of the night because I had to work late Thursday night, and then I didn't get over to Tyler's until, I don't know, how late was that? 1 by the time I got over there. Just super late till I got to Orlando, and then we had to drive all night to get to Miami, and then we checked into Miami at probably like 5 or 6. I don't remember, and then we stayed up talking, catching up, and then I had to start working all day at 11, and then I had a situation where I had to be working all day just for my work situation. I had till 8 or 9 o'clock at night, so I'd been up almost 48 hours, and I'm like, dude, I have got to get rested if we're going to be doing this.
Yeah.
Like, you go, have fun, do what you got to do. The artists that are playing today, I've seen them multiple times. It's not a big deal for me. I'll rather see Saturday and Sunday and have some rest. So I was like, go have fun. I'm going to sleep. Like that was for me. So I needed that personally. And thank God I did, because I came out strong Saturday, ready to go.
So what was like some of your favorite sets? Like what were like some of the high points? What were the high points, low points?
Well, I guess I could, on Friday night, I'd listened to Pendulum a little bit, but they had a live set, and Chase and Status was on right before them, and right after them, I kind of just hung out there while I was watching them start to set up the stage for Pendulum, and they literally brought out, the drums, the guitar or the keyboard and all this stuff. I was like, oh shit, they're actually doing a live show, setting everything up. It was that was a cool set. Surprised at how much I like that. Just not really being listened to them very much. I've listened to a lot more after now. And then the Zed's Dead set. That was my first Zed's Dead set. That was great.
Were they the main stage or the base stage?
No, they had him at the little amphitheater stage. He was on a very small stage, and surprisingly, not that many people there. If you can imagine, the amphitheater stage where it's all seats and stuff, I kind of just stood in the back at the highest point, kind of just looking over everything. And honestly, I wouldn't have had it any other way. There was plenty of space around me. Nobody was crowding at all. I didn't have like seats right in front of me and behind me. Yeah, I mean, that was a great set. I really enjoyed that one.
That was the funny thing about like watching it from home. You could tell during certain sets, like at the base stage, sometimes it'd be thinner depending on like who's on the main stage and the other sets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
like, there was a couple of times whoever was playing during Skrillex, I remember we were like, oh, well, we're gonna have to miss those, unfortunately. Like we're going to see Skrillex, and they put like a couple big names during Skrillex too.
Atelians or Atelians, I don't know how to say that. They were playing right during Skrillex's set. Really surprised that was. They definitely like put some of the big names right during Skrillex to kind of spread it out a little bit, I think.
Didn't work.
But beautiful thing about Miami is all of those artists are at and after you can go to afterwards and see.
Did you guys do a fair amount of after stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We went to, I think so, Saturday we went to Factory Town. That was cool. You
Dude,
could go there all week.
that's a great venue, man. They've got a nice setup there.
You go.
Yeah, it seemed like all the big artists were going to like, what was it called, Factory Town?
Mhm.
Yeah, you go there all week if you want to. I mean, I heard there was even a boiler room that was set up in Miami, and Kesha played at the boiler room, which is kind of interesting. Like Kesha there, all right.
Yeah, that's dope. We had a ton of fun doing Coucher, just like knowing you guys were there. We're like, oh man, what do you think they're doing now? Like, what do you think they're doing? Like, where do you think they're at? We kept looking for you guys. We might have to run some AI through the dead mouse set so we can get a good
We
profile.
we didn't really do too much daytime stuff, just because it was like, I mean, that was sleep time, and I was like, look, if we go to the daytime, we'll go to the daytime, enjoy some shows, then we're gonna walk 25 minutes back, do that, then go back out for another several hours, then we're gonna come back, because every time we went out, it was like, hey, we're gonna be out, then we come back after Ultra, rest for a little bit, then go back out at like 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
the rest of the shows.
Yeah, and there was probably a little bit of avoiding that Miami sun, which is kind of my mortal enemy in so many ways.
Did you guys go to Subtronics? Did you see him?
Missed that one. He was playing at like 2 p.m.
Yeah, he played at like 2 p.m. opening. I was like, you go check him out, because I was in the middle of working. I was like, you can go check him out. That's a good show. But you got to walk all the way over there. But I mean, proud of like Subtronics though, making it
main stage.
to the main stage too.
Dude, and that was a great set. We watched that and we were like, I don't even know how many times we've seen Subtronics at this point. But we were like, hey, your boy really threw it down. And I think part of the problem is when you follow an artist, like you find an artist you really like, you wear out their music, and then you see their set and you're like, I don't know what I expect sometimes. Like they're just going to pull new music out of their ass. It's like following a comedian and you know all their jokes and you're like, oh, I guess no new jokes since I saw you a month ago. It's like, I don't know. I'm the problem. Well, but I just want more.
And like what we saw with a lot of artists, a lot of artists you could definitely tell curated these sets for Ultra specifically. And I think I'm sure he's got specific sets he does a lot of the times, but this one, because as you saw in the opening, that was definitely like, I reach a pinnacle in my career to be here.
Yeah. Yeah, that was super cool. And the rain, we didn't understand what really happened with the rain. Like, did that just fuck up the different sets? Because some artists were right on time and some artists, they'd push back a couple hours. So like, did you guys get like a text or email or anything about the rain, or they just said, hang out?
Yeah, we were just following it, and I saw that rain, and I was like, yeah, that's not good. So we were, I don't know, we were 30 stories up in our hotel room. So we were the second from the highest.
You're like eye level with the clouds.
And overlooked the bay. So we could see everything. And we were and we saw the cruise port across the way. And at one point in the day, we literally couldn't see the docks that were down below us. And I'm like, yeah, this is a good way to judge if they're probably playing out there or not. And probably they're not playing. Yeah. It was kind of interesting is when it got real bad at first, everyone kind of came out and was like, yeah, they're shutting down the stages or whatever. Ultra shutting down the stages. And then they turned them back on when there was a break. And then again, we saw another huge wave of water come in. And I'm like, there is no way they're playing right now.
Yeah.
And no one came out with anything. It was weird. Ultra didn't say anything. No one was posting anything until way later we started seeing that they turned off everything at one point for the second round. But it was weird. No one was giving updates. Ultra wasn't giving updates. They were basically like, we'll still let you in, but you ain't going to see anybody.
No, I mean, they kicked everybody out for a little while. And
the first round, yeah.
Yeah, and again, they didn't even announce that. It was kind of just people on Reddit going crazy, like, yeah, we're outside now.
Yeah. Tyler's like, we should go. And I go, you see how there's barely anybody at those stages right now? There's a reason why no one's going in right now.
That's so weird.
Crazy, too. Once they pushed it out,
was very strange.
When we went to finally go, we were like, all right, water, it looks like it's died down for long enough and doesn't look any new weather. All the paths that we took previously, the roads to get to Ultra, completely underwater. We had to go further into downtown and then cut over to get to it. Yeah. We saw Bentley underwater. That was crazy.
No way.
Yeah.
Some idiot was like, I could take my Bentley. Nope.
Oh. That hurts. I mean, not really because it's not your Bentley, but
Pretty sure we saw a Cybertruck just plowing through too. Like,
Yeah, the Cybertruck's like
whatever I want,
"Brrr."
guys.
that's actually one of the few
Benefit.
cases where a
Benefits.
Cybertruck is kind of
Yeah.
built exactly for that.
Yeah.
So Tyler, I'm curious. So this is basically, I mean, this is essentially your third festival, but I would think this is kind of Ultra is pretty mainstream. I mean, EDC definitely mainstream, but to have the Miami experience, what was kind of like, what was something you didn't expect that you saw? Like, because I know you had the conversation with me, and you're like, "Hey, I want to kind of like, did you dress up? Did you get any like festival gear, anything like that? You went looking like an undercover cop."
Quickly realized I was overthinking that so much. When Dylan on his first day, he's like, "Yeah, I was just going to wear a bathing suit for shorts." I was like, "I brought 2 of those. That's perfect." And just with like a decent shirt, and I guess you could say I kind of found my style there in a funny way. Just like, don't overthink this and just wear what you got and have a good time.
Yeah, dude, that's all it's about.
It
Yeah.
was funny seeing just like so many people wear dark clothes, or like because of the techno house scene, or like so many people like, oh, we Tyler and I would just, how many people Tyler and I would just be wearing a bathing suit and like a flamingo shirt, and people would come up to us so many times like, y'all having a good time? We're like, hell yeah, dude. So many people come out talk to us.
You guys are the most normal people we've seen here. Hey, what are you guys up to tonight? What's going on?
That's one of the things I love about Tomorrowland is that anytime you see sets and stuff from there, like everybody's just wearing regular clothes. Like the Europeans, like they don't really dress up for festivals or raves. Like not even the slightest.
Yeah.
I just think it's kind of interesting. Over here, it's like glitter, ass, tits, cool kid from a music video.
Yeah, get the cool get matching outfits, whatever it is, And don't get me wrong, it's cool to wear like matching outfits, but I was
Absolutely.
like, when you're at a camping festival, it's fun to wear matching if you can. But when you're like a 25-minute walk from anything to like whatever, just be comfortable at this point. Going out.
Definitely fell into the function over form category on that one.
It's ideal if they overlap. Like if you find a funny onesie or a costume thing where you're like, actually, I feel really comfortable in this, and I think this make people laugh, or like I find it amusing or whatever. Like that's awesome, But
so the second day, it was so funny. I was like, so what's anything you've noticed, so far that might be different? And he's like, couple festivals I've been to. He's like, is it normal that like there's these, the people coming through the crowd and they'll be like long and they'll kind of hold each other. Is it normal for sometimes the Asians just to have such the longest group of people? I was like,
stop coming.
The Asian trains. Yes, that is quite normal. And I go, it is quite normal in most places, but very much hyped up at Ultra Music Festival.
Dude, that is so funny. Like that's one of those. I mean, it's a stereotype that sticks.
The best part was there was a point where they were coming from the front of the crowd, and another one came from the side, and they like clashed
Converged.
for a moment. Yeah, and like they were pushing through, and this was like, hell no, we're not breaking links here.
Yeah, usually they're cool, but when they met, they were a problem.
And it happened, I don't know if Dylan even noticed, it happened like right in front of me. This person behind me like touched my shoulder. He's like, get out of there, man. Get out of there.
Only downhill from here.
That was funny. She's like, Dylan, is this a normal? Is this a thing?
Completely normal. Just way more at Ultra, of course.
I like it when you see certain stereotypes. Like I feel like it's not a rave unless you see a banana man.
It's all banana man.
Right? You gotta have the Asian trains for sure. I wondered Ultra if you guys like ran into like any legitimate wooks that looked like they sold everything they had just to get there. Did you run into
definitely ran into one guy when we were in the VIP area. I was waiting for him to come out of the bathroom, and this guy kind of was walking towards my direction and definitely had a Burning Man outfit on. So I was like, awesome. I just mouthed to him like, awesome, dude. And he came over and started talking with us. And he was like, "Do you know what direction or like time this is or whatever?" And we're like, Tyler came out. He knew better than I did the schedule. And we started talking with him. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I've been to Burning Man. You know, we just got on the Burning Man." I was like, "You have a Burning Man outfit?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I love going there too." You know, but he's like, "I've been in Miami since I think. How long did he say?"
He threw some crazy number out there. Like, yeah, I'm a 60-year native of Miami.
Like, all right, but man, like, he said he owned a company that like would climb the buildings or the towers to change the light bulbs out on
Tower
them.
climber. Yeah.
Tower climber,
Was he like an old dude?
old dude, and in shape.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like he's
Gotcha.
I mean, he was old. I don't know if he was that old, but like maybe he's just in good shape. He's taking care of himself. But yeah, he
Man.
saw him there. As far as like Wookiee style people, not really. Didn't really see anyone like that there. I would say he's the most we saw there like that.
Yeah,
Everyone else was very like traveled or city.
I don't think at any point were we like right up at the front of the crowds either, you know, where they congregate. I guess you could say.
Dude, I mean, the thing about being up front though, any festival is like you really have to want it. Like you
ain't leaving that spot for a while. Yeah.
I'm doing it at some point in Vegas, by the way, Colton. I mean, at some point.
No, I believe you.
Yeah.
And I 1,000,000% support you. I think at some point in your life, like you got to do it. You got to rip it, get in there. It is vastly easier to do on your own, though. Yeah. I mean, two people
when I went to
exponentially
EDC,
harder, 3 people impossible.
When I went to EDC here in Orlando, I was able to, not at the rail, avoided the rail, but I was pretty damn close.
No, I mean, the nice thing is that it's a point of diminishing return about 4 people away from the rail, right? It's not going to get any louder. But to say that you've been on the rail, it's, you know, the nice thing about when you grab that rail, all the people behind you, I don't know why, but they're just like, fuck you. And they just want to put all their weight into you. It's just, I've done it a couple times. And like this point, I'm like, it just wears me out, man. Just getting up there and then keeping the spot. You're like fighting for pole position.
And both have their, you know, we got pretty close for the show later on Sunday night for Aliens and a couple other shows. But like, you know, they both have their benefit. Being a little farther back, you can see more of the light show and the visuals and stuff going on too. Yeah. You know, for that. And it was kind of interesting too. Ultra's VIP is literally just about getting in quicker than everybody else. That's
really?
They're
so worth it though. So worth it.
100% worth it. Yeah, 100% worth it. But it's not like EDC or like these camping festival VIPs at all.
What do you mean? Like they don't have their own section?
For the Ultra one, or sorry, for the main stage one, they had 2 sections at the main stage. One, they're both to the really far right, like kind of a distance away from the main stage. They have like a small dancing area, but you have to wait in line to get into that area because it was always full. So you get into VIP, then you have to wait into another line to get into that area. And then the other VIP area was up on the upper deck. But the issue for that is that all their bottle service and stuff was in front of it. And the VIP standing area for that was behind all the bottle service stuff. So you're kind of like, there's this overhang that protects you from the rain and sun, but you're at the very back of that where the bar is. So like half the stage is being blocked out by this overhang on the
right
deck.
Yeah, and the channel of bass I feel like was not
going the other way.
Yeah, it went it wasn't going hidden towards you at all.
Yeah, that's annoying.
And then there was
fuck you money $500,000 bottle service is what that whole structure was designed just
that's
for that.
Literally what that structure's for is give us thousands of dollars for bottle service.
If we can sell one, guys, one.
Yeah.
Paid for it. At that point, it's just, we can do whatever we want.
And there's people there that pay for VIP and sat at that bottle service the whole time. They didn't go anywhere else the whole day.
Yeah.
You know, just whoever played.
My first day there, actually, when I got there on Friday, I was kind of just exploring that VIP area, which, you know, kind of walked up on that little upper structure area. And I started trying to figure out, I was like, you can't go like forward out of the structure area. There's no stairs or anything that I could find anyway. And I started trying to find my way out of there. I had to stop and ask a guy, like, how do I get out there? And he was like, oh, just go down here. It's right in front of this VIP area. I was like, no, because that was the viewing area for VIP. Because I had already ventured my way to that area, and it was slammed. I mean, full. Coming back into the pathway, like walking up, you're like, what? You can't even get out here. So I walked back up. I'm like, how do I get out there, dude? And he's like, oh, you got to walk down here, take a right, go through this gate, go all the way around. There's literally a path that like goes around the whole VIP area. And it opens up to the main stage.
That's the weird thing to me about Ultra. I'm like, I looked up the numbers, and I'm like, Bonnaroo is 80,000 people. And Ultra is 145 to 160,000.
Yeah. Where are they going?
Made a lot of sense, honestly.
Bonnaroo is massive. And I've been to where Ultra is. It is not what I would describe as massive. I'm just like, where all the people go? Where do they put them?
Yeah, there was even one time. Main stage. That's where they are. There was even what was really funny was we took the time to go venture to the other stages, right? There's a small stage called the Cove. And mind you, like this is a park, right? Like everything's pretty much walking distance. It might be 10 minutes to get from one to the other, but not bad. We go over to the Cove, and the Cove had these bathroom buildings that like let you in one at a time to get in. It had such long lines for people waiting to get one on. If you walk 2 minutes that other direction, there's air conditioned bathrooms that you could get in like that. And it's just like we didn't even tell them. We were like idiots, let them muddle in their own problems.
The strangest part, in addition to that, was, and I don't think Dylan, I don't think you and I walked by there, but Friday night on my ventures, there was, they had like nice trailer, like Dylan said, air conditioned trailer bathrooms, kind of like what normally would be VIP bathrooms. They were just standard issue at this event, and which was nice, really nice. But they had just this, line of those, and like what he said, which was over on the other side. But then just kind of in this most random place, they had like 5 porta potties, like 5 portos just kind of set up, just in the, like not that far from the air conditioned ones. Like you could see the air conditioned bathrooms from these portos. And I thought it was hilarious because I'm pretty sure they were set up just to fuck with people, because they had the longest lines. And everything you could do with the portos, you could do over at these air conditioned ones. There was no real reason to have these, but man, did they attract just the most somber, pissed off looking crowd I've ever seen. Just
like if you just go like, plenty, 100 of them, like literally 100 of them lined up. Yeah. There's plenty of them.
There's no line. Like you could just walk right into them. I don't think I stood in line for the bathroom once during the entire event
at all. It's like if you just walk away a little bit, there's plenty of them right over there. No signs anywhere though. They weren't like, if you go that way, bathrooms. They're just good luck.
It was just like a very small little pack of portos just in this most random corner.
So sometimes you have to wonder if that's intentional too, because like the bathroom's the first thing for me. It's like where
the CIA is trying to learn human behavior, and they're like, put 5 right here. We just want to see.
Yeah.
I think I was asking about that. We were thinking about something. I don't remember where we were, but she was like, no, we were watching Ultra on the couch, and she was like, how do they design where people go? I'm like, well, that's actually someone's like full-time job, is like event planning, like crowd management, figuring out like how to direct people or whatever. And still, it's amazing sometimes where you're like, there's got to be a better way to get these people what they need, get them where they want to go. Safety.
If you knew where it was, everything was pretty good. Like you didn't really have to wait in many lines, but it was just finding it at first.
Signage.
Yeah, signage, seeing where things were at first. That was kind of the biggest thing. But once you got it down, you're like, all right, I know where to go for everything at this point.
Stage, water, toilets.
All the food they had in the back area away from the stages, which was nice. So if you wanted food, that was easy to get to. The water was easy to get to for refilling.
Ideally, you just want to get to the point where, like Bonnaroo, they probably got so good that the event planners were like, you know what? let's fuck with them. Let's rename the stages.
Yeah.
Who, what, where, this, that.
Yeah.
Like, we got it down. We got it down. They'll figure it out.
I can't imagine when they had Ultra a couple years ago on Virginia Key. I could not imagine when it was on an island and then everyone had to walk 2 miles across the bridge to get back.
Yeah.
Oh, I could not imagine that.
The mass exodus.
They obviously tried it once, and everyone's like, they went, nope, never again on that one. That was awful.
Yeah, it feels like a massive safety hazard.
Yeah, it was cool seeing a lot of big artists. Cool seeing Skrillex with Tyler too. Since
that was awesome, man. That was being able to, because I'm kind of getting into going to these festivals kind of late in the game, but I've been listening to a lot of these guys since way back when, especially Skrillex, of course, and just I always thought I'd never get to see him, or it was like the kind of like this, the most random, just like a big event that he just kind of pops up. Worked out nice. Great show.
Yeah. So who was your favorite? Like, who was your favorite show that you saw? Was it Skrillex?
I'm not going to say Skrillex was my favorite. No, probably when we went to
some random girl dancing in a puddle.
That was
making noises with the water.
That was good. had the dolphin outfit on and everything. It was great.
Yeah.
But the last night we went to everything at Ultra was great. I mean, the great shows, big crowds, everything about that was great. But that last night we went to Mana Wynwood for like the last after that we went to. And
great event place.
Great venue they have there. And we got to see the last little, like probably the last last quarter maybe of the Sullivan King set. And then Atelians was on right after. And then the last, it was kind of a mashup of everybody who played at that after. And man, that was just being able to get that close. And a lot of both those artists, as far as I could tell, played very similar to what they played at Ultra, but maybe a little bit
rage.
Yes,
pure
rage, dude. And I was having the time of my life. That was what I was looking for the entire weekend. Closed out there, and just was perfect. And Dylan and I weren't even planning on going to that beforehand, and it wasn't until like kind of like Saturday morning, I started talking about like, hey, there's this other after that's got some big names that, be cool to see them.
How much were tickets like for that? What'd you guys pay for that?
I think you said $70.
Yeah, it was like $70, and that was last minute, reasonable. Like absolutely last call, an hour before we went, kind of deal. Like it was already going when I bought those.
It was like we were the event that we had purchased for Sunday night was going to go to 7 a.m. and it was all the way across the bridge over on South Beach. And we were just like, you're tired, like, and then Tyler's like, so this is here over at Wynwood. And I was like, buy that immediately. 10 minutes up the road. We're going to that.
And frankly, was just what the doctor ordered as far as like, a lot of the artists that we missed because of the rain and just, not getting out there, they were there. I mean, Sullivan King and Atelians. I'm pretty sure it's Atelians. But anyway,
it is.
It is. Thank you.
Everybody calls them aliens, but it's like
aliens might be a good plan B, but
they need to drop that Creed drop though. That thing was so good. That was so good.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
They need
I felt so bad that Sullivan King got held up and he couldn't perform at Ultra.
Yeah, they said because of the weather, and he was holding up the Nightmare was holding up the live stream or for whatever with Sullivan King, and they're like, he's stuck at the Miami airport, and we're like, get him here. What is he doing?
Yeah, that's like
Miami
the
airport.
Planes are flying over this stage right now. How are they?
I'm like, we have enough money for a helicopter.
Yeah, there's who knows, because he was playing. We looked it up. He was playing in Phoenix like the night before, so like the weather probably did fuck up something with his plane or whatever. It was funny. What you guys couldn't see though is from home, like they zoomed in on Nightmare's phone, he looks so pissed. I mean, he's like, "Hey, we love you, man." And he's like, "I don't give a fuck," you know.
Whatever.
He's like, "I just lost $100,000. I still got to play tonight, and I'm gonna make like $5,000 at that show." He's like,
I
"Fuck
still
this."
has to go to the afters after that to still play.
Yeah.
Plus, it was probably a big deal for Sullivan King. He gets to pair up with Nightmare at Ultra. That's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he's playing big shows, but oh my gosh, what was I gonna say? So funny enough, like talking about like sometimes the afters, because now we've been to Red Rocks, I think 3 times this season so far. And gotta be honest, Dylan, STS9, well, up until the other night, Disco Lines was the titties. But like all the other sets we went to, we were like, You know, Abby's like, I just don't see it. I'm like, it's been so hard for me to help her understand. I'm like, no, you don't understand. When we saw STS9, they lit the world on fire. Like that was an incredible set. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening here. And then we went with Tyler, and he was like, yeah, for the bass artist, like you really need to be kind of like row 25 and down.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw Disco Lines. It was a great show. We're a little bit closer at like row 46 or whatever. But point is, one night we were going to go out with a buddy, and it started snowing. He's like, hey, I've never driven in snow. Don't feel comfortable. We're like, yeah, no problem. So we go to a club called Larimer Lounge, just thinking like, hey, this is going to be club, house, whatever, starting point. We'll go somewhere. We're already ready, so we might as well go. Dude, we get there, and it's like, Tyler, I'm so excited to bring you here, dude. Like, aside from EDC, like, we got to go to a Red Rock show kind of deal. And we just go to this spot, and it's just got this underground feel. Proceeds to just throw it down. It's nothing to do with house, just like nasty, trappy, hip hop bass shit. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Sometimes you're just like, I didn't sign a consent form, a waiver form, nothing. You have no business just coming up in here and dropping that filth. It was fucking gross, and I loved every second of it. So sometimes you don't know. It's the afters that make it. You know what I mean?
So funny to take an artist that you really like and just go around a crowd with a fake consent form. Like, this is my consent form. Just make sure that you understand you're getting fucked up. We're not liable for any fuckery that you do after this.
What is this for? And just point at the stage.
Right, yeah. Do you consent? It's okay to say no. It's happening either way. We just
we're going to this is just to cover ourselves. We're going to fuck you up anyway, so just so you know.
Yeah. And that's funny. Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you just had a good time, because like we were looking at it from the house, we're like, it looks really packed.
It was really packed. I want him to definitely experience a camping festival or go to like just something different. Like Ultra is its own thing, and you can see every big artist imaginable there. And you know, I told Tyler too, it's very techno house type of crowd, stages too, you know.
Which honestly, I kind of feel like there was a common theme of a lot of these techno, other than over in the mega structure. Like a lot of the guys who went on the main stage, like I think Martin Garrix, Griffin, they had heavy dubstep enders to their sets, which I don't know how common that is, but it seemed to be a pretty big deal from what I was seeing. Yeah, even Tiesto had a pretty heavy. They all kind of.
We watched Tiesto's set. That was a great set.
Mm-hmm. And we saw Hardwell. He had a lot of some dubstep in there too. I mean, that Hardwell's obviously big room, but
yeah,
but he had some dubstep in there.
I mean, those are good. Like those are Tiesto, Hardwell. I think even like Alesso. Those are all great sets. And then if you need to really get your fill of like some dark shit,
9999999.
9x9.
I hate models. You know, there's some good ones in there if you really want to get some dark stuff out of you. Yeah, overall definitely good. You know, the vibes are just, you know, the vibes are also a little different than camping festivals and EDC, of course, because most of the people at Ultra kind of know what they're doing, right? So they're like in their own zone. I just got to get to my stage. Also, something I told Tyler too was like, you notice how everyone moves quick here? Got to get to the next stage. Got to get this. Walking fast. absolutely shoulder
definitely
checking.
a lot more shoulder checking going on.
Shoulder checking everywhere. And I go, the reason why that's here, buddy, is because everyone's trying to get to their every stage has a worldwide person on it, whereas you go to, EDC or Ultra, not EDC, EDC, Bonnaroo, Hula Wing, stuff like that. Sure, there's people playing on other stages, but everyone's kind of knows like we're all going to this stage to watch this artist play.
And a lot of other festivals, like you experienced at Burning Man, sometimes the point is to get lost. You're like, I'm going northwest, north, but if south calls me, we'll do a loop, and see what's going on. Ultra, they're like, you are here for music. There's stages, and like that's where you're going.
No art anywhere.
Yeah.
There's no
There was
art.
like a single head was like their art exhibit there. That guy just constantly changed the graphic on it. Like, look again. Oh, it's different now. All right.
6 and 1. There you go.
Yeah. And that's what we're excited for at EDC is kind of get lost in some of the side attraction shit, because they've been building a lot of that stuff up. But yeah, I was thinking of you guys the whole time. I'm like we were at Disco Lines this Saturday night, and we went Friday night. It was freezing rain. Like literally wore our snowboarding outfits, and I went to put my hood down, and it didn't go anywhere. It was just frozen solid. We were totally comfortable because we had the right gear. But the next night, we were thinking about selling our tickets, and we're like, no, we're feeling better. We slept in. It's all good. So we go, and as soon as we get out of the Uber, we're like, we're old. There's like 19, 21-year-old teeny boppers running around everywhere, just like not giving a fuck, whatever. And we're like, it's all good. We get in line, we get our spots, and we kind of settled around this like older crowd. And we're like, all right, cool. We got a good spot. And this group of women just migrate up the stairs to us. And I'm like, what's going on here? And then now they're like fucking too deep. And it's like, this is not how this works. Like, it's just, we're all on one row. I don't know why you guys are stacking that way. They start moving in. Abby's like, can you switch spots with me? And so I switched spots with her. And I was like, yo, I get it. We're all messed up here. But like the lack of self, at one point, this girl's like on top of me. And I was like, do I need to say something? I'm like, no, it's cool. And she stepped on me and I grabbed her. I was like, hey, I need some fucking space. And like watching the ripple of them make space, I'm like, hey, it's cool. I get it. We're all messed up. And I know I'm 30 plus now, but like, I just don't need you on top of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What did that happen? What happened to you, Tyler, at Nightmare? Yeah. Something similar like that happened with you, I think.
Well, we were at, there were people at Nightmare. There was one guy at Nightmare. He was filming. He was behind us. I don't think he took his phone down the entire set. His phone was like almost like resting on my head at one point. Like I could just feel him just like hovering right there, just like right with me.
He hit me in the head once, and I turned around for a second, like, all right, not a big deal. And then he turned around the second time, and I turned full around and stared at him like, hey, man. And then he moved to the side, but that dude was messed up, just holding his phone. I was like, we're not letting that one happen again.
I know. We had somebody come towering into us because Disco Lines especially, which by the way was a phenomenal set. If you guys ever have a chance to see him, incredible. Genuinely impressed.
Totally.
But this dude comes crashing down on top of us, and I'm in a great mood. And it adrenaline dumped 180 my mood. Turned around, I was like, what the fuck? And somebody, the row behind me was already trying to handle it. He's like, you all right? I was like, do we have a fucking problem? Do we have a problem out of my mouth before I even turn around? I'm like, what the fuck's going on? But the guy above me had grabbed him. He's like, it's all right, dude. He's just fucked up. He's just really fucked up. I was like, that's cool. I was checking in. I didn't know what the fuck's going on here. But so the crowd at Ultra, was it like an alcohol crowd? Did you feel like? What were the vibes? Pretty chill, people on top,
a little bit of
spatial awareness.
Just a little bit of everything. It was definitely like people taking stuff for the first time, or taking psychedelics in a very busy environment for the first time, or just tons of people K'd out and coked out for sure around you, so you got all the vibe, but it was definitely like a lot of like adrenaline pumped, hyped up people. And a lot of times too, in a weird way, Ultra has a lot of people who Ultra is that festival for Miami where most people don't go to festivals, but they'll go to this one.
Sure.
They'll save up all their money to go to this.
Yeah.
Everything they can to get it all out of their system. And so you just have a lot of people like that too, where they kind of don't care. They're just like, this is my one and only. I'm going to make it to everything I can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That makes sense. And I'm impressed. I'm impressed that you went, Dylan. I thought them old bones were worn out, son.
So Ultra's a rough one. I tell you what, 'cause there's not much, there's not much sitting room when you want to. There's nothing, you're standing for however many hours. There's no sitting room at all. And they don't want you to sit unless you're out by a curb somewhere. That's the only sitting. I mean, we went to Factory Town after Ultra Saturday night. It was cool because there's two big stages and you got VIP for one of them. You just had to buy VIP for one or the other. But if you bought VIP, you actually got back behind the DJ, which was kind of cool. So we stood behind the DJ most of the time when we got to Factory Town. That was kind of neat. But they don't want you sitting down unless you're way back behind in the very back. If you're up on the stage, you're not sitting down, you're dancing while you're up,
right.
And so just, hours and hours on end, there's no resting until the sun sings.
Yeah. I mean, we watched the sun come up, I think, while we were at Factory Town. We were kind of hanging out at that.
Oh,
is that pretty cool?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool because the sun's coming up, song's still playing, seeing that. And then finally, and by the way, we had a guy that when he dropped us off, he was like, hey, here's my card. Like, if you need to get out of here, call me. It'll be easier. And, you usually get those and they don't work out or whatever. But I was like, you know what? This guy seems like pretty good. Let's try this once. And we called that guy. And it was kind of cool. He goes, because normally you rely on the app and you're trying to call the guy. He sent me his through WhatsApp. He sent me his direction where he's at, his pinpoint. I sent him mine. And then we just followed each other through Miami till we linked up perfectly. And then he got us out of there. It was awesome. I was like, wow, that worked out way better than trying to get an Uber out of here. He's like, I told you, man, like if you do it this way, it's way easier than trying to link up through Uber.
Just join the train of black Suburbans.
Black Suburbans.
In and out of all throughout Miami. It's just
Cubans and black Suburbans. That's where that's who's doing it. There.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we started organizing for Red Rocks. We realized really quickly, like the first ride we took Mike and Sammy on the way there, I was like, hey Mike, I think we want to get this guy on the way back. He's like, all right, I got a card. And then well, Dylan, you've been to Red Rocks, and Tyler, you'll be going soon.
Yeah.
He takes us all the way to the top, like where like the handicap drop off is, the ADA or whatever. And we were like, okay, this is pretty dope. And then we confirmed with him, probably on Mike, but hey, pick us up at the Uber, drop off, whatever. So show's over. We tell him like, hey, we're going to meet you. And we go down, we take a shuttle. Red Rock started doing shuttles to like get you to an area where it's really efficient turnaround, right? So we get there and we're like, hey, we're here. And he tells us, he's like, I don't see you guys. And we're like, share your location. And we share location. And he's like, why'd you go down there? We're like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm at the top where I dropped you off. We're like, dude, you're not supposed to be able to, how did you even get in there? And he's like, why do you think I got here early? He's like, I have a limo service thing that I just tell him I'm like for the artist or whatever to pick you guys up. We're like, all right, my bad.
We should have trusted you. Our bad. We did not.
Should have trust.
Didn't think you were that good, actually. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's like these guys know what they're doing, So we hired him again. Like that's the way to go. It's like if you can find someone you can trust, you're like, that's what I want.
We're just learning how to have status. Sorry, guys.
For Wynwood too, it was something we both noticed was when you first get into Wynwood, it's kind of like there's a right section, then there's a middle section, and then there's the room where all the music and stuff is happening. But when you first walk in, it's kind of like a vendor and bar area. Super nice, air conditioned. You go to the middle section,
nice.
Cold. You go to this middle section, which everyone's kind of chilling in, air conditioned. It was that section was cold. The middle section was cold. But when you went to the room with all the people and the music, just like felt like you stepped into the jungle. Just
like
musk
the humidity
there.
Oh.
sweaty in there, buddy. Like, and what's crazy too is the air conditioner was working because it would be way worse in there if it wasn't. Man, it felt like you were stepping into a humid jungle in that room.
Yeah, what were the temps at night? Like you guys averaged, 75, 80 degrees at night?
It was actually nice at night.
Yeah,
Pretty
it
cool.
wasn't bad.
Really?
Yeah, very cool. Especially for Miami, it was very cool that the rain. I mean, even before the rain came, it was nice and cool out there. Except during the day, hot during the day, cool at night.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the
Solid
thing.
Miami experience.
The thing about Miami, you don't know. And we were like watching some of the couches. Some of the stages didn't have like rain protection. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
it seems it rains every year. Like I don't know
only
what's
one did, and they had to fix it while they were there. The megastructure started leaking. They had to get on top of the megastructure and patch it up real fast. But yeah, there's no protection at all there whatsoever.
yeah.
Good luck.
Which I don't get. I don't even know how like most of the stuff works. Like when we saw John Summit at Vail, we were like, Mike and I were talking about how do they protect it from the elements like snow, rain, whatever. And we're staring at it and we're like, you know what? I don't think they do.
I think Pioneer's like, you need another one? You need another board? We
I
got.
think they just run it.
They've got boards
They
in the
were.
back. You need another
Yeah.
one? Here you go. Throw them up there.
Yep.
Throw them up there.
There were a couple DJs that were posting about that afterwards. Like, my board got screwed. I had to use a loaner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely
Well,
had that. Oh yeah.
Because the artists bring in their own stuff as far as like the boards, right? Like the
Mhm.
CDJs.
Yeah, because they'll switch them out. They'll have them like set side by side. So while one DJ's playing, the other one's getting set up.
Mm-hmm.
Next one next to him. Yeah, there is no protection at all at those things.
That'd actually be a pretty cool thing is to have on like a production guy and be like, hey, like, how do the lasers and speakers like still work like when it's pouring down like that? Like, I know they're not rated for that. Like, that can't be a good thing.
Had to, yeah. I'm surprised they didn't show. It would have been cool if they showed because they were. I don't know. The production crew was actually doing a pretty good job posting before the festival how they were getting set up. I have seen it too where I don't know where it was at, where they set up the decks and when one DJ is done, they roll the decks to the side and the new one rolls over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that was. Maybe that's Ultra. I don't know. Be cool to see.
I think that's most festivals, like most big main stage stuff like that. Like they have like the rollers where they're taking it in and taking it out. I've seen that at Bonnaroo at least, where it's like some DJs DJing like as they're taking them off stage. They're like,
Yeah,
we're not gonna cut you off, but we're putting you on the side, and this next guy's coming on, so you can just do with that whatever you will. But
still DJing. No, that would be so funny to watch them still DJing and it's not playing anymore, but everyone's like
Goes around a corner.
comes off the stage with his own speaker system.
I think Solomon King had like a crazy long set at one of the. He was there for almost the day. I want to say he was there for like 12 hours. Solomon King.
Yeah,
My bad. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had like a 12-hour set.
clarify that again. You're saying you're speaking to Solomon, right? Not Sullivan.
Solomon.
Right, like in the Bible.
Yes, correct.
Oh, this is
He
the
was
Bible,
there.
but sure.
Solomon plays such long sets. He probably was in the Bible.
They were his songs are the ones in the Bible. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is no protection at all there. And I told Tyler too, next time you come, I would do Miami Music Week because then you can pick what shows you kind of want to go to. You can do pool parties during the day. I don't know. I felt like the crowd was a little bit better at those shows we went to.
Yeah.
Outside of
Yeah. I think if we did go, like that's what it's an easy sell on Miami Music Week. Like that sounds like a ton of fun. Just a packed crowd, kind of tough on Ultra.
Because you're in really confined space, and you can be a lot more specific who you want to go see. And so that crowd, that show that you're going to see is going to have pretty similar vibe of that crowd you're going to want to go see.
Right.
I mean, and really, other than the main stage, and then when we were that little time we were in the mega structure, I didn't feel like the crowds, they weren't that bad.
No, they're pretty good.
They weren't bad at all.
It was just when it got really tight, people were like very self-conscious of their space.
Obviously, Skrillex, right? you kind of just shoot in from the side and hope from the best on that one. But
Yeah, we really shot. We tried to do the VIP and it just wasn't working out. So we literally shot from the hip of like, all right, well, we're just gonna dive in from the side here, see how far
That
we
way.
get in. Yeah, Tyler's like, where do we go? And I go that way. That's our chance right there, buddy.
Well, that's one of the things that like I can't make too many assumptions, Tyler, for your experience in music festivals so far, but like having a limited data set is almost like a really great thing in the beginning because you're willing to put up with so much bullshit because you're like, this is all new. It's all fun, right? It's all just like, oh, whatever, we're just going with the flow. At this point, I feel like I used this comparison the other day, like a ESPN like color commentator or something, where it's just like I'm like, I feel like they could have done this better, that better. It's like I'm kind of jaded with what I want and what I'm looking for.
it's like it was all great. Every part of it was great.
My favorite thing is Dylon. I'll do a little debrief at the end of a set. Like, but like 10 out of 10, amazing set. Like, could not be better. I don't remember who we said this about. But it's like, and they didn't have any fireworks. I mean, it's just like
Could have lodged a 1 or 2. Give me a sparkler.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, I love it because it's like, man, I can, but I really don't want to do GA anymore. It's like VIP is the way to go. Love VIP. And I can put up with a lot of shit, but like when you got a ton of people around, it's like all I want, I don't care if there's people around. I just don't want to be shoulder to shoulder. I want to feel enough bass where I'm like, damn, this is wild, and be able to carry a conversation. It's like I'm looking for these little Goldilocks moments. If I can get that, awesome production and a solid mix, I won't be too judgy.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be I already have, but moving forward, I'll definitely be always trying to shoot for that next, like that extra little bit that kind of just makes it that much better. I mean, can't emphasize enough how much the VIP was worth it for Ultra just to skip the line.
To skip the line.
There was no line getting in. Like that, there was no line. You went, you said hello to security and you said goodbye and you were in.
Yeah, it's like a 2-hour wait to get in.
Oh, the GA?
Yeah, if you're trying to get there during when most people are getting there, either when it first opens or as the evening gets around and people are starting to show up for the big sets, it's like a 2-hour wait to get into that.
That's so annoying.
Skip all that. And what's Ultra definitely knows that. They're like, yeah, we kind of know you're paying extra to skip all this. They had a couple cool VIP things and little areas. You basically get your own private bar, some private bathroom at the main stage, but otherwise they kind of know you're skipping the rest of the line.
It's Miami, right? Yeah. I mean, that's what they're...
You got to see the release of the migratory bike cops all leave from the VIP. They were like right by the VIP area. They were just like, just all of them at one time. I'm pretty sure they made some cool videos of it. Just all of them banking a hard turn around to the front of Ultra, coming from that like right next to the VIP.
This too. If you want to have a chance to walk by an artist, though, VIP at Ultra is your best chance because pretty much where you're walking for VIP that's where all the artists are walking to get to their sets. Pretty much, like we walked behind the mega structure at one point. We were like, "There's like RVs all around us," and we're like, "Did we walk in the right area? This is like we should not be here right now." Like there's equipment people walking by and everything. I still don't know if we were technically in the right area, but we definitely walked by people and then went this direction, and we're like, "All right, I guess no one's saying anything. I guess we're all right here."
Oh man, that's funny,
dude. It was a good time. I think, Tyler, you have a good time.
Oh, I had a blast, man.
Good.
Definitely do it again.
A little different, but yeah, we'll do it again.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun after EDC. Like we'll do a little post breakdown there and see how that compares. But no, that's dope. I'm glad you guys had a good time. We were worried about you, but
we were worried about us.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
Yeah,
cool, guys.
Right.
Well, yeah, Tyler. Any closing thoughts here? Any life lessons that you downloaded from the Asian train?
Man, just go into. I just love going into these things, like you said, kind of just with the open mind of I don't really know what to expect of this, but Dylan will kind of say like, oh, you might expect this, this, and this, and some of it happens, some of it doesn't, but it's all just kind of enjoy whatever happens, whatever the festival feeds you.
Yeah, the text that you sent me definitely felt like the festival's feeding you something. So I can vouch.
Zed's Dead was a phenomenal set. That one definitely changed my perception of life a little bit.
Oh man, lovely. Well, thanks for coming on, buddy. Other than that, hey guys, just so you know, for the next few weeks, what to expect from our episodes, we have a bit of a staggered, we're going to call it like an expert series, oscillating between business professionals and folks attached to the psychedelic industry. Don't forget MAPS, the largest psychedelic conference in the world. It's coming up in Denver. We'll see if we can get you some discount codes for that. But regardless, if it's something you're interested, put it on your map. We're going to have some speakers coming on our podcast that will also be featured at that event. So if you're curious about real estate, finance, all the business stuff, we'll be having topic-led experts on in the following weeks, along with kind of intermissions of psychedelic content too. So a little healthy mix. But other than that, hey, we love you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Thanks, guys.
We are some hippies. These are my friends. Come along.